have the privilege of hosting some of the finest academicians, industry experts, and leaders who will enlighten us with their valuable insights.
To begin this auspicious day, let's welcome our distinguished dignitaries to the stage. Please join me in welcoming them one by one.
First, it is our proud privilege to welcome Professor Amya Kumar Rath, the Honorable Vice Chancellor of BPUT and patron of the seminar. Sir has been a visionary leader, always motivating students and faculty to strive for excellence. We feel honored to welcome Mr. Suraj SD, founder and CEO of Decibel Lab, a leader in the EV industry who has made a significant impact in electric mobility through his innovative contribution. With equal honor, we welcome Srimati Nishipunam Minch, respected Registrar of BPUT, who plays a key role in ensuring the smooth functioning and the progress of the university. We extend a welcome to Dr. Manas Ranjan Nayak, our esteemed head of the Department of Electrical Engineering and co-patron of this seminar, under whose guidance the department continues to grow and achieve new heights. And finally, we welcome Dr. Ashwini Kumar Sahu, respected Professor of Electrical Engineering and the convener of this seminar.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a huge round of applause as they take their seats.
Light is a symbol of knowledge, positivity, and progress. To mark the beginning of this event, I humbly request all our dignitaries to kindly come forward for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp.
Hello. Om Shubham Karoti Kalyanam Arogyam Dhanasampadam Shatrubuddhi Vinashaya Jnanadipam Namostute Jnanadipam Namostute Jnanadipam Namostute Saraswati Mahavantna Mahamaya Varaprada Shri Prada Padmaniraya Padma Shri Padma Vakrata Shiva Ruja Pustakamrit Dhyana Mudra Ramapara Kamarupa Mahavidya Maha तारकनाशिनी महाशयानहरिणीश्च महाधारा महाभुजा महाधागा महोत्साहा दिव्यांगासुरवन्दिता महाकाली महापाशा महाधारा महाकुशा गीता चरिदना विश्वा विद्युत्माला च वैष्णवी ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् मुदच्यते पुनश्च पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः
I request everyone to kindly rise for the BPUT anthem.
ବୈଷୟିକ ଶିକ୍ଷା ରୂପରେଖ ଆମ ହାତରେ ନିର୍ମିତ ହେବ ସୀମାହୀନ ଆମ ସାଧନାର ଗତି ପଥରେ ଯେତେ ସବୁ ବାଧା ବିଘ୍ନ ଏଡ଼ାଇ ପରିଚୟ ଆମେ ତୋଳିବୁ ଏବେ ଉଠେ ଆମ ଆଶାର ଆଲୋକ ଆମେ ଜଗତକୁ ଜିତିବୁ ଆମେ ଜଗତକୁ ଜିତିବୁ
To officially commence the event, I now invite our convener, Dr. Ashwini Kumar Sahu, for the welcome address. Sir, please.
Respected Vice Chancellor Sir, Registrar Madam, Director Sir, and HOD Sir, and our guest today, Mr. Suraj SD, CEO, Decibel Private Limited. So very good morning to one and all present here. So at the outset, I want to invite you all this one-day seminar on emerging trends in EV technologies. So I would like to actually tell like the D-Day has come, but actually behind this D-Day, 2 months of continuous effort actually has been given to see this day actually. So how much effort has gone behind the scenes, now you can imagine, and what is our expectation also from you all, you know very well. see how this seminar was actually, the idea was kind, what is the idea behind doing this, or the motive behind conducting this one-day workshop or seminar, as you say, with industry expert and academic expert. So if you'll see, I'm very new to this campus, just 2 months old. One fine day in the first week of July, actually, I was called by Vice Chancellor sir to his office. He was asking how to improve the placement of our student, how to focus on the skill aspect of our student. So he was asking me, and see, you have come from a place where it is known for skill activities in state of Odisha. Can we do it here itself? Can we establish any center of excellence? Can we operate, because it is a very big university. We have 135 colleges under us. So how to improve the skilling component of our students so that our student can be placed in the emerging technology. Then idea actually came to me, like, let us do it from our department itself. So I had some interaction, previous interaction with Decibel in my previous assignment. Then I thought, why can't we invite them, because they are the market leader in the EV technologies, and they are the right persons to actually address the student, and they will address the need of the university and the department. So that was actually the first, I think in the second or third week of July, I contacted them, and the date was finalized after long discussion with the HOD electrical. Then it was thought the full day you want to engage. Then we decided to invite some professor who is also working in this domain. So we decided to invite Dr. Ranjan Kumar Behra, Associate Professor from IIT Patna. He will be actually joining little late. His train is reaching here at 10:30, so that's why he could not be able to be available now in the inaugural functions. So he will be joining shortly with us. See, when I became a graduate, like in the 90s or late 90s, so our aim is to work in the core sector. It is like in those days, if you see, who are the major recruiters are NTPC, Cell, Nalco, these are the BHEL, these are the companies which actually they are doing the major recruitment. Then after 2000, if you see, the major recruiters are IT companies, all Infosys, HCL, Wipro, you take any companies from 2002 up to, you can say, 10, 12, it continues, that boom, that continues. But if you see after 2014, a new era has come. More emphasis is given on PV, that is solar PV systems, and off late on electric vehicle technologies. So if you see now, our country is leading in with respect to your solar PV systems. Now the current trend is to go for electric vehicle technologies. So if you see, major opportunities actually coming in these two domains. For any core engineers, you take it mechanical engineers or electrical engineers or anything you take, it is in these two sectors actually maximum opportunities are coming. So today we have an industry leader who will guide us like how to make a career in that domain. I was just talking in the morning with Mr. Suraj, like how our student can be given internship at Decibel Bangalore. What is the modalities it should have so that our student can afford and go and do the internship at Bangalore, whether it is a short duration during summer or at the end of 8 semesters, during your project period for 6 months, you can go and do your internship come project at Decibel Bangalore. And the second aspect is like we expect Decibel to help us establishing a center of excellence in the area of EV. So there will be a lot of deliberation today in the morning session by Mr. Suraj, and in the afternoon sessions, particularly, it will be focused on like a machine used in electric vehicles by Dr. Ranjan Kumar Behra. So the whole proceeding will be like this. I want you to actively participate, bring your note, take down the things, whatever the doubts you can have, you can interact with him at the end of the sessions. So I hope definitely you will interact very actively, participate very actively with all the resource persons and get maximum benefit. So finally, I wish the proceeding will be smooth and fruitful, and the effort what we have put definitely will be bloom one day in terms of internship, project or placement. So thank you once again.
Thank you, sir, for your warm and motivating words. Now I request our head of department and co-patron, Professor Manas Ranjan Nayak, to kindly address the gathering.
Good morning, everyone. Respected Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amya Kumar Rath, esteemed founder and CEO, Decibel Lab, Mr. Suraj SD, Registrar BPUT Odisha, Srimati Nishi Punamins, Director in charge CUPGS, Professor Shivkumar Mishra, convener of this seminar, Professor Asin Kumar Sahu, and of the dais, directors, officers, faculty members, and my dear students. It is my great pleasure and honor to be here today at this important seminar on emerging trends in electric vehicle technology, a subject that is not only timely but also critical to the future of sustainable transportation. As we stand at the crossroad of innovation and environmental responsibility, EV technology represents a powerful intersection of engineering, energy, and ethics. We are witnessing a revolving in automotive world, one that is reshaping our cities, our infrastructure, and our very approach to mobility. From the rise of lithium-ion battery innovations to the integration of artificial intelligence in vehicle design and smart charging infrastructure, the EV industry is rapidly evolving. Government across the globe are implementing policies to phase out IC engines, that is the internal combustion engines. The Odisha EV policy, Odisha Electric Vehicle Policy 2025 aims for 50% of all new vehicle registration in Odisha to be battery electric vehicle by 2036. The Odisha EV Policy 2025 is not just about buying and using EVs and building an entire ecosystem. EV Policy 2025 of Odisha focuses on 4 things, that is encouraging local manufacturing of electrical vehicles and parts, promoting battery assembly units within the state, offering incentives to companies setting up EV tech R&D centers, creating job opportunity in green mobility sectors. However, some economical, technical, and environmental challenges before the EV industries, academia, and administration that still require our attention. These challenges are battery recycling, smaller and less expensive batteries, driving range enhancement, placement of charging stations necessary for high uses of EVs, and wireless charging system, grid capacity upgradation, and affordability. It is also important to look at some environmental problems with battery, such as where the raw materials for battery are sourced and where the batteries themselves are dumped. That is why platforms like this seminar are so important. They bring together bright minds like academia expert, industry expert, faculty members of this university, students of this university, and spark the kind of dialogue that leads to real world solutions. Faculty members and students of our university definitely take interest to solve the real world problems or challenges which are faced by the EV technology. It is our responsibility to ensure that our student and faculty members are not only aware of this advancement, but are actively participating in shaping them. And this seminar is a small but significant in that direction. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, very much, sir, for your valuable words of encouragement. We are honored to have with us Dr. Shiv Kumar Mishra, respected Director in Charge and co-patron of the event. I now invite him to share his valuable words.
Good morning to all of you. Respected Vice Chancellor, Professor Amya Kumar Rath, Registrar Madam, distinguished industry expert, Mr. Suraj, esteemed academic guest who is supposed to join us, Dr. Ranjan Kumar Behera, all my faculty colleagues, the directors of this university, the officers, the students of this university. It's really a great pleasure because we have been successively conducting events for last few days, and this is exactly what we wanted always, to make this university a vibrant one. Let me tell you, today we are simultaneously holding several events parallelly. One of this event is this, which is organized by the Electrical Engineering Department. Along with this, we are also conducting the preliminary rounds of the Smart India Hackathon in another place. Our final year students are undergoing, they've started actually their pre-placement training program from today effectively. So this is what exactly we all, our Vice Chancellor has envisaged for this university. Let it be a place where there should be 24-hour activity. The students should be engaged. So I think we are slowly and gradually achieving this particular target. See, it is the teaching and the learning process has completely changed over years. It is not just restricted to blackboard teaching, or it is not just restricted to within the classroom. You have to go out of the classroom and let it be a participative learning, experience-based learning. So that's exactly, at least it gives me pleasure that whatever effort all of us are putting, it is slowly getting the results. So that's first point. And this particular event, it is not an academic event. It's actually an industry, academia, knowledge bridge. The EV sector is progressing very rapidly in batteries, power electronics, charging systems, and advanced motor drives. As Professor Manas sir told, that even the government is very seriously bringing in the EV policies. Very aggressively it is. And you all might have observed that over years, the EV technology has substantially progressed. And the government, not only the private, the government is actively pursuing these policies. So it is high time, because we are making you, we have an aim to make all of you future ready. So the future is about EV. So we have to be prepare when all of you for the future, to make you future ready. This particular event is going to play a very important role. Now the other thing is, I want to stress that one of the, how many of you know that, I mean, if you have visited our website, I think you should also know that one of our vision of this university is to establish center of excellences, and through which we'll be world leader. That's there in our vision statement. So in line with that, as Professor Ashwini Kumar Sahu told, with our the dynamic leadership of our Vice Chancellor, we are going to set up several center of excellence, and EV is one of that. We have already established some. You have seen that we are the Center of Excellence on Emerging Technology has been already set up by STPI, and our students are getting benefit from them. So this is one of them. This is the first step towards establishing a Center of Excellence. So dear students, please utilize this one-day seminar as the first step towards your knowledge. Don't just listen, come prepared, exchange your ideas, ask questions, because if you are not going to ask questions, not going to participate in the process of learning, and nothing will come to you, you know. So this is the time, so that's why we are all with you. The entire department is with you, the entire CUPJ is with you, and we have very high hopes for you. And please be assured that we are putting all kinds of effort to make you future ready. Thank you all, and I wish all the best for this particular one-day seminar. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your thoughtful and inspiring address. I now request Srimati Nisi Poonam Minch, respected Registrar, to address the gathering.
Good morning to all of you. Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amay Kumar Rath sir, Mr. Suraj SD, CEO, Director CPS, Dr. Shiv Kumar Mishra sir, Professor Manas Nayak, HOD, Electrical Engineer, Professor Ashwini Kumar Sahu, Convener, distinguished guests, experts, all directors, officers, faculty members, and all my dear students. It is indeed a matter of great pride and happiness for me to be addressing you all on this special occasion for the one-day technical seminar on emerging trends in electrical vehicle technology. The subject chosen for today's seminar is both timely and highly relevant. The world is witnessing a rapid transformation in the field of mobility, and electrical vehicles stand at the center of this change. With advancement in battery storage, fast charging systems, power electronics, renewable integration, and smart grid connectivity. मैं आप लोग के समक्ष कुछ बातें रखना चाहूँगी। ये कल की बात है, यहाँ जितने भी सेमिनार्स होते हैं, मेरे 2 बच्चे हैं घर में, मुझसे डिस्कस करती हूँ। तब जब मैंने मेरे बच्चों को बताया कि हमारा सेमिनार है इस टॉपिक पे, तो उन्होंने कहा कि अभी के ट्रेंड में, अभी के सिस्टम में ये बहुत ज़रूरी है और बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्योंकि जैसे हमने देख रहे हैं कि ग्लोबल वार्मिंग हमारे पूरे विश्व में जिस तरह से पसर रहा है, तो इसलिए हमें अब इसके मैटर में चिंतित करना होगा। और मेरी बेटी जो 12th स्टैंडर्ड में है, उसने कहा कि ये हमारा जनरेशन को ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेना पड़ेगा। आपकी बीपीयूटी में तो यंग इंजीनियर्स हैं, उनको ये रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी लेना पड़ेगा, सोचना पड़ेगा कि हम कैसे ये ग्लोबल वार्मिंग के रिलेटेड टेक्नोलॉजीज ला सकते हैं। और इसके लिए ये जो सेमिनार ऑर्गेनाइज किया जा रहा है बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। तो उसकी बातें मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी। और कुछ दिन पहले ही मैंने इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल अभी कुछ दिन पहले ही देखा, जब मैं अपने बच्चों के साथ मार्केट जा रही थी। एक साउंडलेस व्हीकल हमारे नज़दीक से गुजर गया, मुझे पता ही नहीं चला। मैंने अपने बच्चों से पूछा ये व्हीकल क्या है, बिल्कुल एफर्टलेस साउंडलेस है। उन्होंने कहा ये इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल है, इसमें बिल्कुल साउंड नहीं होता है। उन्होंने दोनों इतने एडवांटेज के बता दिए कि जो मुझे भी पता नहीं था। तो रियली ये आज आप लोग के लिए अपॉर्चुनिटी है कि ये बहुत अच्छा वर्कशॉप हमारे ऑनरेबल वाइस चांसलर को विशेष तरह से धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगी कि ये सेमिनार को ऑर्गेनाइज करने के उन्होंने सोचा। और हमारे जो कन्वेनर हैं, हमारे इलेक्ट्रिकल डिपार्टमेंट के प्रोफेसर्स हैं, फैकल्टी मेंबर्स और जितने हमारे स्टूडेंट्स इसमें इन्वॉल्व हैं, उनको मैं विशेष रूप से धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगी। तो आज मैं चाहूँगी कि आज इस सेमिनार में आप एक्टिवली पार्टिसिपेट करें। इसके लिए आप सीरियसली सोचें कि आप क्या अवदान दे सकते हैं सोसाइटी के लिए। थैंक यू वेरी मच।
Thank you, Madam, for your motivating and encouraging words. We now invite our distinguished industry expert, Mr. Suraj SD, to address the gathering. With his global industry experience, EV innovations, and academic contribution, he continues to inspire the next generation of the engineers. So we are honored to have you with us today.
Good morning, everyone. It's a great honor to be here on this occasion. Thanks a lot for creating the stage for us to come here, spare some time, and interact with students. The first most important thing I want to express is that I am also studied from a government college. It is not IIT, it is not NIT, it's a very normal average college. Okay? So, I understand the efforts that we had put in our college days to transform our own lives. My father is a farmer, my mother is a housewife, okay? So most of your parents are also like that, right? So with a lot of hopes, they would have sent us here. My father never visited a college, even never came for admissions because it doesn't bother to him, right? But they put a trust on us to send us to college to study and make things happen. That's on the one context of it that we are all here today. The second context is that the country needs electrification, right? Tell me a lot of things that is happening today as fossil fuels, where do we import from? We import from Middle East. That is basically oil, right? You know how much of the country's dependency in the oil? We all study the dollar is better than India, the neighboring countries' currency is better. The largest amount of imports which impacts our country's GDP is because of oil imports, right? So how do we do an independency of the oil imports? What if like Saudi tells tomorrow that I will not ship you on oil? Can you think going from Rourkela to Jasagod by running, by jogging? No, you will need an oil, right, to run that. So if you see at a broader perspective, country needs independency, right? If it has to develop independency, that is one of the sectors, mobility. And the sector of mobility also creates largest amount of emissions. So on the one side, we have oil dependency, that we don't have a oil, we import the oil. The second is, the mobility segment creates the large amount of the greenhouse gas emissions after the industrial emissions, okay? So what if today, if I say you that maybe out of 25 new kids born possibly in Delhi, one of them is born with asthma. So we hold a responsibility as educated individuals to create technology. So what is the job of an engineer? Is to drive a technology or to create a technology that can solve the problem, right? So we own that responsibility, and it's a proud that it is organized by Department of Electrical Engineering, right? So we all of us own the responsibility to create technology. The country needs right engineers, skilled engineers. How many of you know until now we are importing oil, today we are importing parts from China for electric vehicles? Though it is reducing, right? But it requires homegrown companies. Why can't we manufacture our own motor controllers today? Why can't we manufacture our own motors today? Why do we have to depend upon China for all the motors, right? All the power electronic components. You go to any vehicle components, any, even not to name, any automotive companies, disassemble them, see the parts where they come from. Where they come from. We hold a responsibility as engineers to develop something for the country so that our economy will grow. I wish to see, if you see Aether, the company which started in IIT Delhi, it was just a small company, right? So now it is transformed into a $1 billion company. So it is our responsibility today to contribute back to the country, because as an institution of a government, because I studied at paying a fees of 18,000 rupees, it doesn't just cost you 18,000 rupees to run a college from a student. The government pumps a lot of money to educate all of us. So the responsibility holds at you as students to learn as much as possible to contribute back into the country. The third thing is ecosystem. So I'm very privileged. It is a leadership which is very important, like Vice Chancellor sir, or also the director and the Registrar and everybody, to spare their time to be in this occasion today, to be with us and see forward the significance of this program. I'm sure the knowledge is any more scarce today. Maybe when you all were studying, if you have to study power electronics, what you will do? We will go to maybe 1970s, most of you would have been there. You would go to a library, right? To select a book, read the book, understand the subject. What about today? Go to ChatGPT, ask for anything, it will give you a solution. The things are same today, that it is no more that the person with the knowledge is any more valuable, because knowledge is abundant. You go to ChatGPT, type it over there, it will give you the answer. You don't need to be knowledgeable enough to know everything, right? It's about problem solving. It's about building the experience, right, by the time you graduate. So it is very important for the university to have a very lab infrastructure, the center of excellences which you have envisioned. I'm sure the investments which you bring into the institution will definitely give the students opportunity to learn hands-on and a practical way. I'm sure that will bring you guys between a fresher to a experience. So difference between a fresher and experienced is somebody who has failed more number of times, gained that and become an experienced person. I'm sure so the center of excellences which you envision to create here in the infrastructure of BBTU will create thousands of these students to know what they should do. So the last part is about this program. I'm sure there is only 3 minutes assigned to me to speak about on this dais. So it is very important that you all should know why you're attending this session. You have another 20-30 minutes to have a tea break and come back. Understand why. I said the knowledge which I speak is available in ChatGPT. I wish this session to be more interactive. You want to ask questions where we derive an outcome, where I set forward the stage that you guys want to become something, right? So I wish forward to see that. I really thank everyone being present here and thank the leadership for arranging this session. Thank you very much, Sahu sir, for inviting and being behind us to come here and interact with the students. We look forward to see the time that we spend here will become bigger and we create an impact to the country and to the society and the students. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring insight. It is now a privilege to invite Professor Amya Kumar Rath, Honorable Vice Chancellor of BPUT and patron of this seminar, to deliver his address.
So good morning to all of you. Registrar of the Universities, Director CUPGS, Mr. Suraj, industry experts, Professor Manas Nayak, Professor Sahu, my dear faculty members from CUPGS, and dear students. If you look at the developments, Suraj spoke about farming. It reminded me 40 years back. I was there in Maharashtra. I could see the students and the faculty members, Saturday they go to their village. I used to ask, why you are going to village? They said, we'll do farming. Even after possibly 5-10 years back, again when I visited, I could interact with some of the professors. They told that weekends and all holidays, they go to village for farming. That is the beauty of Maharashtra. Of course, I have visited Karnataka and Maharashtra. I'm sure Suraj is from Karnataka. Same is the case with Karnataka also. Because one of my friend is the executive director, TCS, of course, in HR. Weekend, we used to stay in the same apartment when I was there in Bangalore. I used to ask him, where are you going? He said, I'm going to my village. Of course, his village is 30-40 kilometers from Bangalore, from Nagarbavi, around 40-50 kilometers. They love to go to village for farming, do kind of things. That's really, we should learn actually. Let me tell you, we should learn. Hardly here we go to village for any kind of farming. Okay? So it reminded me, I thought I should share with all my students. If you look at the development, today the development in our country and the development in Western country, of course, the privileges what they get. They use credit cards, debit card. We also use credit card, debit card, right? See, something which is very popular. The beauty part of our country is we have more than 140 crores population. So every country, they look at it India for their own business. So which is more popular is, because I have seen the other part of it. Without mobile phones also we have lived. Of course, I am having mobile phones last 30 years. When mobile phones first came to India and came to Odisha, I was having a mobile phones. My point is we lived without a mobile phones, but mobile phones is very popular, people are using it. Social media, people are using social media extensively. People are using WhatsApp, Facebook extensively. UPI payment, everybody is using UPI payment these days. Everybody will be having this net banking apps, either or Axis app. Everybody is having that, UPI payments. Similarly, if you look at ChatGPT, everybody is using ChatGPT these days. Even the school children, they use ChatGPT these days. If the college of the school teachers, if they give a projects, they go to ChatGPT and find out. Okay. Windows. We were doing programming without Windows, without Microsoft Windows. But today it is so popular that they don't look at Unix, they don't look at Linux or the other operating systems. Okay. My point here is, similarly, if you look at electrical vehicles, there are two perspectives of it. Why I told this is, the electric vehicles has started becoming popular like your other, whatever I mentioned about ChatGPT, social media, WhatsApp, Windows, UPI payment, credit card, debit card, whatever I mentioned. If you link with electrical vehicles are started and getting popular these days. There are some technical aspect of it, like if you look at battery advancement, because you want that if you charge maybe for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, it should last for hundreds of kilometers. Okay? So solid state batteries for higher energy density, faster charging and improved safety. Longer driving range with compact battery packs. Similarly, for charging infrastructures, ultra fast DC charging, if you charge for 15 to 20 minutes, of course, if it will charge 80%, then definitely you will be very happy. Wireless inductive charging, wireless charging, of course, mobile these days, it has wireless charging. How many of you know that mobile has wireless charging? Can you please raise your hands? Yes, mobile has wireless charging. Similarly, you should expect wireless charging for electrical vehicles also, battery charging. Smart and connected electrical vehicles, like integration with Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, cloud, and all that. Of course, for predictive maintenance, autonomous and shared mobility, sustainability, recycling and second life use of batteries. These are some of the technical aspects of it which detailed will be discussed by the experts. But my point here is why we conduct such programs for the students. If you go out, if you think of electrical vehicles, if you think in terms of a designer's perspective, we want the country like India, we should think differently. We should think in a designer's perspective. See, let me tell you, I had been to US, I had been to Europe, I had been to Netherlands. Wherever you find people are seriously working, they are all Indians. They got good brain, but always we want to work, okay? Of course, now the startup is coming in a big way. We have more than 100 unicorns in our country. We want more and more startups created by students. We are also promoting startups in our universities for the students. My point here is, you think differently, you think how we can, what way, the designer's perspective. Whenever faculty members also we teach, we don't teach something which is already there, something which, how people thought of it. Of course, how people thought of this, that is important. The program like this will help the students to get preliminary basic knowledge on electrical vehicles, what are the parameters responsible for successful of electrical vehicles, whether it is charging of battery, whether it is, fast charging of batteries, the longevity, the sustainability, the affordability, the integration of it, integration in autonomous, integration with different technology and all that. Okay, we are planning to set up a electrical vehicles center of excellence here. I want like you have buffet of different sabji and vegetarian, non-vegetarian. I want the many center of excellence to be created at BPUT. Any students, bunch of students interested in this, they will look at this. Okay, that is the plan I have. So program like this will definitely help. Suraj also will help us set up center of excellence. Of course, I have my friend at Delhi. I told him that let us develop a center of excellence here at BPUT. I think it's a first step towards developing a center of excellence here. I'm sure this program will be entirely technical sessions and you will mostly get benefit out of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your encouraging words and enlightening visions. May I invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor and Chief Patron of the seminar, Professor Amya Kumar Rath, to kindly present a memento to our industry expert, Mr. Suraj S.D.
To conclude the inaugural session, I invite Dr. Shashwat Satpathy, Assistant Professor Electrical Engineering CUPGS, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everyone. So it is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of Biju Patnaik University of Technology for the today's enlightening talk on the emerging trends in electric vehicle technology. So first and foremost, I would like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Amya Kumar Rath, respected Registrar Madam, Srimati Nisi Poonam Minj, Director in charge CUPGS, Professor Shiv Kumar Mishra, HOD Electrical Engineering, Professor Manas Ranjan Nayak, and Professor Ashwini Sahu for encouraging and supporting this initiative. Your guidance has been instrumental in making this session possible. Next, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude to our distinguished speakers, Mr. Suraj SD, who is the CEO of Decibel Lab, and Dr. Ranjan Kumar Behera, Associate Professor, IIT Patna. So we hope to see insightful presentations on the advancement in electric EV technology, battery innovation, charging infrastructure, and sustainable mobility, which will connect theoretical research with practical industrial applications. A special thanks to the organizing team, faculty members, and student volunteers who have worked really hard day and night to organize this event. Finally, I would like to thank all the participants and the attendees. So we hope the knowledge which we gain here today will encourage further discussions, collaborations, and innovations in the field of electric vehicle technology, which is shaping the future of sustainable transportation. So thank you all once again.
Thank you, sir. I request everyone to kindly rise once again for the BPUT anthem.
We shall now break for a tea. Kindly reassemble by 10:45 a.m. for the technical session.
Attention, everybody please go to the tea break, have a tea break for having the tea. On the back side of the auditorium, back side.
I request everyone to reassemble. I request everyone to reassemble in the auditorium for the technical session. I repeat, I request everyone to reassemble in the auditorium for the technical session.
I request the disciplinary committee to make everyone seated as the technical session is going to be started. Our first technical session will be an industry talk on EV powertrain and large-scale testing by none other than Mr. Suraj SD.
Mr. Suraj SD is a graduate in mechanical engineering with 13 years of experience in the automotive industry. He is the founder and the CEO of Decibel Lab, leading a team over 20 engineers in consulting projects for EV and R&D, powertrains modeling, traction batteries, BMS software, EV thermal management, and VCU development. He has created over 2,000 plus hours of course curriculum, developed an LMS platform for 43,000 plus learners globally, and established 20 plus EV labs and 3 centers of excellence. He has also delivered training for organizations like Tata Motors, Toyota, and Schneider Electric. His current area of interest includes sustainable mobility, hybrid, electric, fuel cells, autonomous and connected vehicles, digital twinning, and cyber physical system.
Sir, the stage is all yours. Please welcome with a great round of applause.
Hello. I hope it's good, audible for all of you. Okay. Time to sleep? Okay. Guys, if you don't mind, over there, would you occupy the front seats? Yep. It's more easy to catch up with you like boys in the back, would you just come in the front and take the best comfortable cushion seats? Come over. Nobody asks you always to come front. Everybody will push you back after you graduate. Boys, I don't think you require a special request, so you guys can come. The seats are empty here as well. Okay. All right, so looks like everybody is set. It looks like more better now to engage and interact. Madam, you're settled? Okay, so let's set the context right. That's very important, right? So the way I think is that I'm gonna spend about another 2.5 hours with you. That is my 2.5 hours. Collectively, we have how many people? Maybe 100, 150 people. So it's 150 multiplied by 2.5 hours, right? That's how much of cumulative human hours that we spend. If you waste it, it is a waste of time. It doesn't come back, right? And if you utilize it, you can transform it into something, okay? Good, so second thing. When I was like this in my engineering, when people used to come, we doesn't used to bother too much. We only realized when you became jobless after your graduation, we should have listened to someone, right? And they would have told something that would have been useful or meaningful for all of us to transform the career. How many of your fathers are well educated and say they are engineers? Any of you? Okay, fantastic. For except all of us, would you expect some of them to guide you? No, you don't, right? Definitely. Even the same case for me. Would you expect your dad to give you a job? No, you don't, right? So you would expect forums like this, events like this, which are organized, so you get to understand what I can become, what I can do, right? So that would be useful for you. Then the last part, to set a context for this program, I want to ask you, like, why are you here? I know there is a set agenda was spoken in the morning, but if you are spending your 2.5 hours, what do you think you want to take away from this session? Any of you? What do you think by spending 2 hours, it's not a movie, right? What do you expect to learn? Sorry? I thank you for arranging it, yes. What do you expect? Setting the context is very important for any program.
Sir, we are here for gaining the knowledge about the AV technology.
Okay, sure. Anybody else? The program is organized. It is mandatory. You all have to be here. If this session was not there, okay, can you pass the mic over there? Where else you would have been? Fulton Mall?
So we can know more about our electrical technologies so that we can utilize in a good manner for our upcoming future and also for our upcoming generations.
Sure, thank you. Very good. Anyone else? Let's set the context right. Anybody else? Okay. Just give a GAN for 2.5 hours. I don't bother, whatever it is. And then I'll continue to do whatever I have to do. Okay. So, because it's very important for all of us to understand that why we are here, what is that 2.5 hours or 2 hours, whichever we're going to spend. How many of you have a book and pen? Okay. The rest of you want to note in the mind? It's very important. It is said that the short pencil is better than a long memory. Okay. So I'll ask questions, I'll torture you, I'll bother you to write down. Okay. The first important thing before I starts my slides, I wanted to understand, can you guys write down what are the components that is in EV? Okay, all of you, I'll come and check. Okay, I would like to see what are those components that you know that present in an electric vehicle. Okay, please note it down. Don't expect me to be just a guy who comes and talks. So I want you to spare your time. So I'm spending my time. I took a flight early morning, came all the way yesterday. Yeah. How many? If you're done, I'll come and check. Let me know. Yeah. You can make a note, madam. You can make a note. Would you like to make a note? Just write on your books. They say muscle memory. How many components you know which are present in electric vehicles? Okay, somebody is ready. Write down. Guys, take a paper from one of your friends. Electric motor, power inverter, DC-DC converter. Okay, battery. Okay. Okay, electric motor and brake. What else? You guys are electrical engineers. Yeah, don't let my expectations go down. Ready? Who else? Okay, I'll give you one more thing. I promise you to hire 2 people for internship with 10,000 rupees of stipend. Okay, by January, you guys can come and join. If you do well, I'll still increase the stipend. Okay, so make sure you interact. I'll pick 2 best guys. Yes. And if you do well, we can hire you with a minimum package of 4.5 lakhs. Okay. Battery. Okay. It's not a joke. I'm promising you. I will write this in words before I leave. That's all? Yes. Show. Okay. More? That's all? I'm expecting more. Okay. Don't use ChatGPT, Google to find answers. Okay? So thanks. Let's get back. All right. How many of you know there is a motor in the EV? For sure everyone, correct? Take a new page. Take a new page in the book. Write down a typical speed torque characteristics of a motor. I'm a mechanical engineer. Okay, I still know how motor characteristics looks like. Okay, and I want you to write ideal speed torque characteristics of a motor. think it like also a parallel interview for all of you guys. Ideal speed torque characteristics of a motor. If you're done, raise your hands, I'll come and check. You guys just walked by. Check, check. You guys done? Don't look into Google anything, please. It's not going to lead you anywhere. Okay, done? Anyone raise your hands, whoever is done. An ideal, yes sir. No, I need a graph, fill the graph. Graph. You understand, as an engineer, it's very important to know how to write graphs? Yep? No? Almost right, yeah, sorry. Still can be better. Not completely. Done, somebody? Okay, all right. Okay, yes, sir. Done? Not done. Anyone else? Okay, no. Very difficult to see. Yes, you have? Okay, good. Don't expect me to run you through presentations. I can do that for 5 days without seeing presentations. No. What's that, sorry? No, not fully. Done? If you copied that from internet, I'll tell. Next question. Define base speed of a motor. Define the base speed of the motor. Consider it for a PM motors, permanent magnet motors. Sir, I'll take it from students if you don't mind. How many of you drawn the graph? Raise your hands. How many of you? It's okay, it's right, wrong, it doesn't really matter. It's completely fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. Okay? Write on that graph what is the base speed of the motor. Okay, if I can give another 10 minutes for all of you guys who doesn't have books, would you be able to get them? Yeah? No? Yes? Possible? Not possible? If I give you 10 minutes, would you be able to get a book? Yes? No? Yes? So you'll just sit like this without writing answers? Okay. So go ahead. Who has got it? Yeah. No. Very fundamentals. How long did you had this subject called machines? I think I had in my first year college of engineering. Types of motors in the P cycle. Yes? No? Anybody got it? Okay, if you're done, let me know. I'll come and walk. Yes. The question is, what is the base speed of the motor? And represent that on the graph. Okay. Good. We have one answer. How many guys? 120, 150 guys. What is base speed? Nominal speed of voltage. I'm missing something. Okay. how do you define for a motor? The next question, I think somebody answered. If you guys need a couple of minutes. We have something to write. Do we have? Okay. I'm sorry?
The frequency, load and rated voltage.
Why do you think we have the base speed of the motor? What is the significance of a base speed? Very basic definitions. Yeah, you guys have the mic. Go ahead, go ahead. Sit. You can talk. Okay.
Sir, it is the initial speed of the motor
No.
to start a motor.
No.
So I guess it is the speed of the motor where the motor is being constant or at the same speed for longer time.
All right.
Sir, it is the rated torque.
Okay. How does it become rated torque? Why do you think that has to be rated torque?
Sir, every machine needs some rated speed, na? After that only it will run.
Okay. Right. So, if I give you a motor, I give you a battery, and I give you a controller. Okay? You're able to follow? So what is there? Write three things. Sorry, I don't have the writing pad I can write. If you put a block diagram, there is a battery. Write it up on your books. There is a battery. Just put a block, call it as battery. Next, put it another block, put it as controller. Put it as another rectangular block, put as controller. Okay? Then put a one more block, call it as motor. Right. So, at the place of battery, put it as 48 volts. 48 volts. Okay? Now, you answer me the question, change that 48 volt battery to 96 volts battery. Okay? And change that motor controller to 96 volts. Okay? Now you tell me, I think somebody gave an answer that it depends upon frequency, it depends upon few of the other things. Tell me, would you be able to shift your base speed? Okay, sorry? Would you be able to shift the base speed? You can. You can. So what typically happens, let's just put this across to all of us. How many of you know what is back EMF? Back EMF, back EMF, back EMF? Yes, no, okay. Okay, so the back EMF of the motor defines, let's say, to be called as the base speed of the motor. Okay, if you run the motor more than a base speed, the voltage that produced back from the motor would be more than the supply voltage. If you're supplying 48 volt to a motor, if you run the motor from 0 to 100 to 200 to 300 to 400 till its base speed, the motor will also produce you the back EMF. Where the back EMF will go to? Motor controller, right? So at the speed at which the back EMF is equivalent to the source voltage, that would be the way to also find a base speed of a motor. I will just bring a graph that you guys can see. So the graph that you see on the right hand bottom corner, the right hand bottom corner to me, I think it's left hand bottom corner for you. So how many of you got that right? How many of you got that answer correct? Did your graph look like that? Okay. I think the one graph which looked more correct is that from girl over there. Perfect. Kudos to you. Give a good round of applause to her. So that's how the torque characteristics would look. Okay. So if you go to this point, if you take this point, maybe if I can make some annotations, take a pen. This speed, right? You guys can see? Yeah? That speed is called as maybe a base speed of the motor. Okay? That is almost where your back EMF is equivalent to the input voltage. Now, what happens if you run the motor more than that voltage? The motor itself will produce more voltage, right? So you will not be able to run the motor because your motor controller will blow up. What do you do? How do you run the motor from that point to further? You do something called flux weakening, right? You studied this word, had this word, yeah, no, yes, okay? There is something called flux weakening. So we weaken the flux so that the motor back EMF doesn't cross the input voltage. And who does that job? Any guess? Who will do that job? Who will control who will do the flux weakening part of the motor? The motor controller. Okay, the motor controller will do the function of flux weakening. How it is does, it's a very complex theory. Okay, but it's okay to just understand that. So you have a base speed and then you have a maximum speed of the motor. So you can take the motor to the maximum speed. Clear? If somebody asks you a fundamental question in the interview, write a speed torque characteristics of the motor. You will be able to write? Okay. Now, if I change I gave you a block diagram. What I told you, 48 volt. What was the next one? 96 volts. Can you write a graph? How does the base speed shift? How do you shift your base speed? Give it a try. Now you have the graph and you can rewrite a correct graph on your paper and take it as an example. That is for the 48 volt system. Now you need to do it for 96 volts. Just rewrite a graph on top of that graph. How does the base speed will shift? Okay. There's one correct answer. Anyone else? Yes, sir. See. There are some right answers. It's good to see you guys catching up. So possibly the graph will come like that if you shift the input voltage. All right. Now I want you to take a same graph, okay, the same graph, write the efficiency plot for that motor. Write the efficiency plot for the motor. You see that whole thing, the characteristic graph, write the efficiency for that motor. I said you it's not a lecture, all right? So I hope you are comfortable with that. Write the efficiency plots of that graph. What is efficiency? Output by input. Okay. Done. If you're done, raise your hands. The graph also has an answer, but you are not able to see the answer because the screen is too big. Done? Voice, okay. I'm sure you guys had the test benches in the college to do the efficiency test of a motor. Yes? Was there? No, no, not fully. Would the efficiency of the motor be same all across the operating points? Yes or no first? No? Would the efficiency of a motor be same across all the points? Yes or no? How many of you raise your hands for yes? How many of you raise your hands for no? How many of you raise your hands for both of them? How many of you for yes? Does the efficiency of the motor remains a constant or changing? Okay, it's changing, correct? So then how is it changing? Where does the motor has its best efficiency? Sorry? Base speed? Okay. Can you write it on the graph? The best elemental ability of an engineer to represent in a graph. If you're able to convey an information on the graph, then you know how you understood the subject. If you're not, read it again. You guys had machine lab? You should. Yeah? Okay. I had engines lab because I was studying mechanical engineering. What's that, sorry? Okay, there is an answer. Okay, no, not really. Are you guys able to see? Is it visible? Not visible? Yeah. So, anything that looks more bluish, it's the lowest efficiency. Anything that looks more reddish, that's the highest efficiency. Okay? I would not say all the motors will have same type of efficiency. It is a general characteristics of a motor, right? Can you redraw your graph? You can see that the motor exhibits the best efficiency somewhere at this point. What is this value? 97. Okay? And then it is 96. And then it is 95. And then it is 94. Okay? And that's how the ideal efficiency graphs are there for the motor. This is called as a base speed. It is also written here for this motor. That is a base speed. This is the maximum speed. What is stall torque of a motor? Stall torque of a motor. Okay. So it is a point at which motor is no more able to rotate. Okay? Typically that point is this. Okay? This is the point. This is the maximum torque the motor can produce, and it is no more able to produce. That will be the torque at which the motor will stall. That means you are applying so much of opposite force that motor is no more able to run, are no more able to produce the torque. Okay? It may be the motor or it may be the motor controller also. Right? If the motor controller limits the current, then the motor will not produce. Right? Good. Set the baseline. Okay. Now, what is my topic? Do you guys know what is my topic for today? EV powertrain and no. Do you guys know what is my topic? And testing. Correct? Yes. Now I started with a word called write a speed torque characteristics of a motor. That was my first question. What was my next question? Base speed of a motor. What was my third question? What is the efficiency of a motor? What was my fourth question? What is the stall torque of a motor? Now, you have to conduct an experiment. Somebody will just bring a motor and give it to your hand. I want these details. Okay? I want these details. How you will conduct the experiment? What are the operators required to conduct this experiment? What is the procedure required to conduct this experiment? Open the new page. Don't think I'll leave you with those 4 questions. Okay? Open the new page. See, I mean, what is design of experiments? You studied design of experiments? Yes? No? Okay. How many labs you attended? How many labs did you attend until now? Every semester has 2 labs, I think. Yes? Yes or no? Yes? Yes. So then maybe you're in how many semesters? How many of your 5th or 6th? Sorry? 7. How many of your 7th? How many of your 3rd year? Sorry, 2nd years? 1st years? Oh, okay. Right. So, when you studied attending those labs, what are the things that you write? What is the objective of the experiment? I studied 13 years before. okay, in my college. What is the aim of the experiment? Then operators, then okay, and then procedure. Please write them. The ability of an engineer is to imagine. It is not like faculty will teach me, I will learn, I will only know that much. That is the most foolish way of thinking. Faculty is just going to give you a direction. That's all. Open up, I will open my document and show you, okay, how to do all of these experiments. I want you to put a small amount of efforts to even think, okay. I'll give you 5 minutes, yeah. Try to do as best as possible, which you can come up with. And that gives you a reward of getting an internship. I have my manual. I can open and show it to you guys. Take 5 minutes, just write anything that you can write.
Our 4-quadrant indigenous motor testing patch. This test,
Guys, done? Done? How many of you are done? I should ask you guys, is it going okay? Is it going good? Is it going bad? Very bad. Sorry? Okay. Rest of you guys. Okay. How many of you done? All right. So this is the test bench that me and my team has developed to test the motors and to study their characteristics. What all the things that I've spoke to you, we use this machine to do the testing. Just pay small attention and don't just watch it. I will ask you to write the procedures with the help of that machine and video that you're going to see.
I'm very proud to introduce our 4-quadrant indigenous motor testing bench. This test bench has been developed at Decibel's lab to enable a lot of ecosystem players in the electric vehicle technology. It can be the companies who would like to test their motors or even integrate the motor controller and test it. Along with that, if in academics, if you'd like to teach to the students in real time using the test setup that is similar to the industry, you can also use our 4-quadrant motor test bench. As a part of this test bench, we have our load. We can also call it as a 4-quadrant absorber. Then we have the motor under test. And we also have an inline torque sensor and an RPM sensor. As a part of this setup, the requirement for the motor is to get tested with various load conditions. As I said, this is our 4-quadrant load. We can operate in the motoring mode and also in the regenerative mode. We can also operate in the reverse mode and also in the regenerative mode as well. When you're operating this test setup, we have our GUI. This GUI is also indigenously developed to make sure that this is a very cost-effective solution. As a part of this whole GUI, you get an opportunity to control the load side, and the other side, you get to control your motor under test. If you can see, there are various parameters that comes with the GUI that gives you a more insightful information about what information that you're able to fetch from the motor. It can be the motor input voltage, the input current, the DC power, and also the input AC voltage, the AC current, and the instantaneous AC power, and also the various different parameters such as the output torque, output speed, output power, and also information that is derived from all of this would be a controller efficiency and motor efficiency and an overall efficient system. So in this way, the test setup gives you a very insightful information where you'll be able to perform a lot of test cases. So if I just quickly walk you through the simple option to just run at different speeds. So we have the test setup here. So if you want to just change it to 1000 RPM, you could see the motor shooting up its speed, and then the similar amount of data is also being captured as a part of the overall test setup in terms of the overall output speed of the motor as well. So on the other side, let's say you're running this test setup and you want to give a load to the motor, because right now the motor is running under no load condition. So if you want to run a motor in no load condition, so we go here as a part of this test setup and we give a torque command. Let's say we give a torque command of a 2 Newton meter. So the setup will apply the load, the 4-quadrant load will apply a load to the 1 kilowatt motor. So in this way, you can conduct several type of experiments, maybe as simple as a no load test. We can also conduct the regenerative test. We can conduct the torque speed characteristic test, or you can plot the overall efficiency of the motor across the complete the speed torque characteristic range. You can help with this test bench to identify the fundamental characteristics of the motor with respect to also a control. If you change some parameters inside a controller, or if you're just tuning the motor controller for specific requirements in place, you can even make those changes, subject the motor to testing conditions in place. Apart from all of these things, our premium version of the motor test bench will also...
Okay, so if you kind of saw that test bench, right? What is that called as? Apparatus, right? So that is a motor test bench. So what all you have? You have a motor under test, you have a load, right? Then what do you have? You have a torque sensor which can read the torque reading. Then you have the software GUI where you will be able to see all the data, right? All the data means motor speed, motor torque, DC current, DC voltage, input power by input power, that leads to efficiency of a motor, all that thing. So how do you write a procedure? Let's take one example, correct? How do you conduct a stall torque test? Example. So how do you conduct a stall torque test? We will run the motor under test to the maximum speed. Let's say this motor is running at 2000 RPM. And then what I will do, I will slowly start to apply 1 Newton meter of load on the motor, right? With the help of load. Then what will happen to the motor speed? It is at 2000. If I apply 1 Newton meter, what will happen? It will slowly try to come down. But again, the motor controller will increase the current. Then it will come back to 2000. Okay? Then what will happen next? You apply 2 Newton meter. What will happen to the motor? Motor speed slightly try to come down. Again, if the motor controller has an ability to supply more current, is it a DC current or AC current? Figure it out, okay? So, if I apply 2 Newton meter, slightly motor will come down, and then the motor controller will supply more current, and motor will again come back to 2000 RPM. Then I do 3 Newton meter, I do 4 Newton meter. Then motor controller is try to supply current, it is not able to supply current because the current is limited. Then RPM will come down from 2000 to 1900. Then I apply 5 Newton meter, apply 6 Newton meter. Then what will happen? The motor will try to produce, but it is not able to produce the maximum power output. It will come down. It will come down. You start applying the load gradually. At one point, the motor is no more able to rotate. That torque is called as stall torque. That is a procedure which you do to conduct stall torque test. Clear? Can you write on your? I always believe a muscle memory. That means when you write something, you remember it. Done? Okay. Good. let's take the next experiment. Which was that one? Base speed? Yeah? How do you conduct the base speed test? How do you conduct a base speed test? It's quite simple. You need to disconnect the motor and the load first. Okay? The motor should not be having a load, right? Then what we do, we will use a machine to measure a back EMF, right? So what you can do, you can keep the value of flux weakening as 0 in the motor controller. Okay? Keep the value of flux weakening as 0, then give a command to the motor. If you give a command to the motor, what will happen to the motor? Motor will run as much as possible without going to flux weakening region. That maximum speed the motor can reach at a 0 flux weakening will be called as base speed. Okay? So, I try to I have a limited time how much we can spend, so I will show you some way of details. If you can take a look at the screen, all of you. So this is one of our product which we call it as 4-quadrant motor test bench. Okay, what is 4-quadrant? Okay, can you draw the 4-quadrant? You can? Yes? Okay, would love to see. What are the 4 quadrants in a motor? Motoring mode and generation mode in clockwise. Motoring mode and regeneration mode is in anti-clockwise. Is that right? So if you're a test engineer, right, how many of you know rope brake loads? Rope brake load, like you have a drum, you have a rope, you tighten the rope, and then that acts as a load. I think most of our college labs will have a rope brake load. Okay. Then the next one is eddy current load, eddy current dynamometer. The higher version of that is called as 4-quadrant load. The 4-quadrant load is the most advanced load that is used in the industry today for all testing of motors. So if you see, this is how our system architecture is, and let me just tell you one example. Yep. Okay, so let's go to an experiment. Base speed, AC voltage, AC current relationship. Okay, it may not be so interesting for you guys. We'll go to the next one too. Okay, motor torque, AC voltage, AC current relationship. You guys can see the load being increased in the motor, and the motor controller also supplies the motor current. And yes, did you get the same graph which I showcased to you before? Yep, the graph will come like that. Correct? Which you are able to see the motor torque and then the AC current. All right, so this is an idea, and motor testing facility. Okay, so whatever you guys see here, okay, in these images, these are the motor test benches. There are hundreds of jobs available across the industry just for testing of motors. okay, and testing of motor controllers. So you guys want to get that job, okay, you need to learn well about motors, controllers, testing of motors, testing of controllers. Clear? Okay. This is one example about testing a motor. Any questions? Then one more thing I wanted to show you is about dyno.
Hi.
Okay. So you can test a motor as an independent component. Because inside the vehicle, do you think you have only motor? No, right? We have motor, we have transmission, we have motor controller, we have battery, we have charger, all of the systems together, okay? Let's remove charger as a part of it, but if you take only these systems. So when you drive your bike, is there a brake if I am, what time? 11? Okay, so should we take a break now? We can? No, it's okay if you guys want to take a break and we can come back. Okay. So, if you buy an electric bike, what they will tell you? It will give you 50 kilometers per charge, 100 kilometers per charge, right? Let's take the battery pack is, you can write it down, 2.4 kilowatt hour. The battery pack is 2.4 kilowatt hour. It will give you a range of 50 kilometers, right? It will give you a range of 50 kilometers. So what is the energy consumption per kilometer? What is the energy consumption per kilometer? How many of you have electric bikes? Anybody have an electric bike? Nobody trusts to buy? So the battery pack is 2 kilowatt hour and the range is 50 kilometers. So how much is the energy consumption per kilometer? How much? Yeah.
So, my question is that you told us about this, about stock torque. I'm asking that how this stock torque is help for making the electric vehicles.
Sure. Good question. Very nice. Okay, one of your friend has asked a question. Like we did a stall torque test. We did the stall torque test. What is the use of the test? What is the outcome of the test, if I have to tell you at the last? Or what is the results of the test? We got to know what is the maximum torque the motor can produce with the help of given input power supply and a voltage, correct? Imagine if you are going uphill, right? If the vehicle is, we want to know if I produce this much of torque, will the vehicle goes up or it doesn't, okay? By conducting a stall torque test, we understood what is the maximum torque the motor can produce, right? So then at the vehicle level, if you're putting the motor on the vehicle, I want to know whether the vehicle will be able to climb or not climb, okay? So that is the correlation you can draw. Or let's say you buy an electric bike, you put 5 people on it, will it move? So what motor is trying to do? Motor is trying to produce as much as torque as possible. That is maximum torque. So it is no more able to produce more than that. What will happen? Either the motor will fail, or the controller will fail, or motor controller will go to a safe mode. But that is the objective. Initial torque, or a torque for uphill condition, or also the situation where you are going on a highway at 80 kilometers per hour. You want to overtake someone. You give a maximum throttle. So what is the maximum torque motor is able to produce? So that is how you relate the stall torque requirements and into the practicals. Okay, we were at what point? I gave you something to calculate. So it's just 2000 divided by 50. How much it is? 2000 divided by 50 is 40. 40, what is the SI unit? What is the SI unit? 40 watt hour per kilometer. Yes or no? Right? 40 watt hour per kilometer. That means when you move 1 kilometer, the vehicle is consuming 40 watt hour. 40 watt hour is a combination of battery, motor controller, motor, transmission. All of the efficiencies put together, it is consuming 40 watt hour. Okay? If you want to conduct a test like that at a vehicle level, then you need a test bench called dyno. It is called as chassis dynamometer. Okay? That was called motor dynamometer. This is a chassis dynamometer. Alright? So I'll just play you guys a video and you get to see how does that look like. The audio, excuse me, guys, Ayush, audio is not coming. I think you need to raise the volume.
This is a 4-quadrant road load simulation chassis dynamometer. It is for the application of testing two-wheelers. This is completely developed in-house by Decibels Lab, including the complete mechanical structures and also the 4-quadrant load, and then the data acquisition system, and then computational hardware and a software, and even the GUI for the application of visualizing the data, capturing the data, and also analyzing the data as well. What we see here as a test setup consists of the mechanical infrastructure where we can load the vehicle, and also a roller and a 4-quadrant load that is sitting in the bottom. And then this rack consists of all the power control modules and also the power supply modules, and then our safety and interlocking mechanisms, and then our indigenous developed hardware and software for the computational activities of the open loop or closed loop controls. Here with this GUI, you're able to completely take care of the test environment where we can conduct the different varieties of test cases. We can perform acceleration test case, you can perform acceleration test case under various different load conditions. For example, if you want to perform at a specific grade, you can perform that. You would like to apply, let's say, 2 people sitting on the vehicle, you can change the parameters inside the software, and the software will automatically apply the load from the 4-quadrant load to the roller and then to the beats as well. We can perform test cases such as the continuous test for 30 minutes. We can also perform tests such as road load simulations. The dyno, as it is being a 4-quadrant dyno, you have an operations of all the possibilities in place. With the help of it, we can perform IDC drive cycle, MIDC drive cycle, even we can develop custom drive cycles and implement as a part of the our premium software versions as well. With that way, this complete test suite also comes up for the closed loop controls as well. That is also a part of our proprietary advanced software module, where the throttle is continuously controlled by our control software. It means if you load our IDC drive cycle, the MRDC drive cycle, or any real-time drive cycle, you don't need to sit on the vehicle and then keep driving the vehicle. The software will automatically take a command of a throttle, and it adjusts the throttle with respect to the defined drive cycle parameters in place. Henceforth, we can perform a closed loop controls as a part of it. What you see here today is that we have loaded the Ether bike for the purpose of just a quick demonstration. So here, with the help of the complete environment, we could observe the data on the dashboard that is typically from the vehicle itself. And then we also can observe the data with our GUI. Just a quick example, like if you want to perform any test, and somebody can sit here and then perform the test. But also, if we have a closed loop software, we can run the closed loop controls to control any specific test cases as well. So if you see here that when the test happens, the complete data is transmitted with the communication protocols, and then the data comes directly into the GUI in live. So we have inline torque sensor. We also have inline speed sensor. So we are able to capture the wheel speed and a wheel torque instantaneously at any given time when the test is performed. So that you get the capture of all this data, right? And that's just the setup along with it. And if you want to perform many test cases, you can even go much further. As I said, we can vary varieties of your load cases. Maybe it's a road grade profiles. You can vary the weight of the vehicle by applying the different parameters here, and by loading the drive cycle, you can perform variety of real, and in part to and that's up to 120 kilometers per hour. And
yeah, I think I just want to show you small content so that it just captures you and maybe retains. So if you guys want to learn about these things, we have a YouTube channel from Decibels. We also host podcasts. If you wish to learn something, you can just check out the website, the YouTube channel. Okay, so we speak on this podcast of what to do testing, how do you do testing. If you're interested to learn, it's just right there for all of you guys, okay? And the channel is called Decibels Lab, okay? Decibels Lab. Okay, I think with this note, we should be able to take a break, okay? How long is the break? 10 minutes? All right, guys, so it's 11:56. So we're going to be back here by 1:06? 12:06, sorry. Yeah, we will be back here by 12:06. I wish all of you guys come back with some notebooks, okay? We're going to learn something more than what we learned. Thank you very much. See you back.
Hello, hello, hello.
I request everyone to be seated. We will start the session. I repeat, I request everyone to be seated. We will start the session. Thank you.
Good to start? Okay. Alright guys, just we will start with this video so that until everybody comes, we can just...
Hi.
I think we'll go with this good one. That should be okay.
Hi, welcome to the Decibels Lab Battery Testing Facility. This facility was established in 2024 to create the state-of-art equipments and laboratory to carry out the projects for characterization of the cells. As a part of this facility, we have gathered a variety of equipments ranging from the basic level to a very advanced level. This facility consists of the variety of cyclers. So we have 20 amp 8 channel cycler, we have 100 amp 32 channel cycler, we have 30 amp 8 channel cycler, then we also have 6 amp 16 channel cycler. With the help of these equipments, we have done characterization of cells for thousands of cycles. So we have gathered the data, and this data helps us to analyze the behavior characteristics of the cell. We can also use this data to make machine learning and AI models to predict the health of the cell by knowing certain patterns and behaviors of the cell. Apart from these activities, we also support our customers in testing and characterizing their cells. It may be selecting a cell from a supplier, or if they want to validate the newly manufactured or developed cells, this facility can now host you for conducting all of those testing and characterization activities. The facility also hosts 3 thermal chambers, which ranges anywhere from -20 to +80 degrees Celsius. So we can conduct any of the environmental characterizations with the help of these thermal chambers. So all of these chambers are coupled next to the cyclers. So they help you in integrating and testing any of the thermal behaviors and patterns of the aging and also any of the impacts on the characterization of the cells with respect to temperature. In continuation to these, we also have equipped the AC characterization equipments, which is specifically EIS, electrochemical impedance spectroscopy. With these machines, we are able to go more in depth into the cell without cutting the cell or breaking up the cell. By performing the frequency sweep, we are able to get more insights of electrolyte or specific characteristics of the diffusion and all of those behaviors in place. We also host pack level ACAR, and also this can perform the cell level ACAR as well. So we use that extensively when you're selecting a cell to build a battery pack, or after build a battery pack to see if the internal resistance
of the pack sits within the given limits in place. So now this facility is hosting various number of customers for external activities. Yep. So until before the break, we learnt about motor and vehicle testing, correct? And now we learn about the batteries and battery management system. All right. So what is a battery? What is called as battery? What is a battery? It is a energy storage device. All right. I want you to write on the paper what are the components of the battery. What are the components does the battery has? Can you check? What are the components does the battery has? What does the components does the any, I would not say battery. Battery is an incorrect word. It should be called as cell. Okay? It should be called as cell. Yep. Done. What are the components of the cell? That's all. More. Try. A battery consists of what all the components? It has anode, cathode, electrolyte, that everybody knows. What is more than that? What is more than those three things? Yep. What is more than that three things? Anode, cathode, electrolyte, that's all. And no. Separator? Yes. Current collector? Okay. Does anode is negative or positive? Anode is negative or positive? Shit, just throw you out of the guys. Wow. Okay. Does anode is negative or positive? How many of you say positive? Raise your hands. Nice. It is negative? Okay. Which is correct? I will not tell the answer. Anode is negative. Cathode is positive in the cell. Okay. Electropositivity, electronegativity is different than which is being anode and which is being cathode. Forgot? Chemistry, first year, PUC, all that faculties feel so bad now. Okay, so I remember it in this way. Anode, A-N-O-D-E, so I remember A and N is negative. N means negative, right? So cathode, obviously cathode will be positive. Okay. Can you write a symbol for a cell? How do you write the symbol for the cell? Can you write a symbol for the cell? How do you write the symbol? Yeah, do it, do it, do it. Okay, right. Yes. So, I want to know, can you write it down on your book? Take a new page, and on the new page, if you can write, I want to make a battery pack. I want to make a battery pack of 10 Ah. 10 Ah. I want to make a battery pack of 10 Ah. And I want to make a battery pack of 24 volts. 24 volts. I want to know how many number of cells I have to connect in series. I want to know how many number of cells I want to connect in parallel. Okay? That is the question. Then the inputs to that question is the cell voltage, right? And the cell's capacity. The cell voltage is 3.6. The cell's capacity is 3. Okay? Cell voltage is 3.6. The cell's nominal capacity is, how much I said? 3? Yeah. So please tell me number of cells required in series, number of cells required in parallel. You guys could not find the paper in the break time. Why is it required? Answers? Anybody got? It shouldn't take this much time. Yes. Yep. Okay. Can you write that in the drawing?
So here.
Okay. Coming.
So in series it is 8 batteries, and in parallel it is 3.
No. Close by. It shouldn't take this much time. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What is the formula? If you add cells in series, what will happen? Will the voltage increase? Will the capacity increase? How many of you say voltage? How many of you say capacity? Rest, none of the above. Okay. If you add cells in series, the voltage will add. Correct? If you add cells in series, the voltage will add. If you add cells in parallel, the capacity will get added. Correct? So, to calculate number of cells in series, it is pack voltage divided by cell voltage. Okay? For the capacity, it is pack capacity divided by cell capacity. And that's the number of cells in series and parallel. Alright. So, we just need to go one step back and check. I gave you the one information, 3.6. Yep, and 3 Ah. Okay? What is it called as? What is 3.6? What is 3? No. Okay, cell voltage, all right. How many of you say cell is a constant voltage source? Raise your hands. Is the cell a constant voltage source? All right. take a paper and write the voltage versus capacity graph. If you write voltage on the y-axis and capacity on the x-axis, okay, you can start voltage as 0 on the y-axis, and also on the x-axis start as capacity as 0, then increase the capacity till 3. It divide by 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. All right. So if you get to see here, cell is not a constant voltage source. The voltage will change for the cell. I gave you a number called 3.6. Then what is 3.6? It is called as nominal cell voltage. Give me a round of applause. Yeah. So that is called as nominal cell voltage. Then the next question comes, what is nominal cell voltage? Define nominal cell voltage. Conduct an experiment to identify the cell nominal voltage. Open circuit voltage is correct? Yes? No? Okay. Let's see. Right now, the graph that you see is a voltage graph across the cell, right? If the battery SOC is low, the voltage will be also low, correct? If the battery charge is high, if you have your mobile phones, correct? If the mobile phone shows 100%, that means the voltage is higher. There is a mobile app which you can install which will tell you the cell voltage also. Check it if you can, okay? You make the battery to go 0, charge it, the voltage will gradually increase. The same thing, when you charge your battery, the voltage will go up. When you discharge your battery, the voltage will come down. The area under this graph is called as yes? The area under the graph is called as, no, no. The area under the graph is called as energy. The area under the graph is called energy. So where is capacity then? Whatever it is delivering at the last, here to here, this will be capacity. Right? The x-axis is capacity. The area under the graph is energy. Somebody said power. The instant, we measure the power at an instance. So, at this instance, that is the power. P is equal to V into I, whatever the voltage is, whatever the current is, that is the power it is able to deliver. Yes? Okay. Where were we? Somebody answered nominal voltage. Then I asked the question, what is nominal voltage? Then somebody answered few things when we went back. Now tell me what is nominal voltage. Sir, part of your answer is correct, not full answer. I give you a cell and I'll ask you, conduct an experiment to answer the nominal voltage of a cell.
So the nominal voltage of a circuit is the average voltage which we can of a battery that can be shown when the battery is off.
Average voltage. What is average? How do you average it? Okay. Answer. Sir, then sir said open circuit voltage. Then what is open circuit voltage? Yes. Okay. What is open circuit voltage? When the cell is not connected to a load, if you measure a voltage, it is called as open circuit voltage. Okay? Then, how do you calculate nominal voltage? So first answer, the voltage at 50% SOC is called as nominal voltage. The open circuit voltage at 50% SOC is called as nominal voltage. So if somebody is telling you something, you need to ask always, what is it? Why is it? How to conduct an experiment for it? Then how do you do the calculation for it? Then how do you draw the results for it? Right? Or else all our life, if somebody says something, Shah Rukh Khan made 100 crores, oh, he is 100 crores. Right? So, but always have an inherent characteristic to question it, to conduct an experiment with it. And that's why we are engineers, right? We are not marketing guys. So we are engineers, and our primary role is to experiment. Okay. Then we have one more term in that. It is called as slightly before that, sir. Like I gave you voltage and one more parameter. One more parameter, capacity. So what is capacity of the cell? What is capacity of the cell? How much? Be very sure about SI units. Power word is not a part of the equation. Huh? No, I'm not asking you SI unit. SI unit, no. I'm not asking you SI unit. I'm asking you, what is capacity of the cell? Define it in words. Okay, you have the water bottle. What is the capacity? How much? How much? No, you're asking a 1 liter bottle. I'm asking you general answer. How much quantity of water or volume it can store? Yes? Then define the same thing for the cell. No, don't take it to the SI units. The amount of charge the cell can store is called as capacity. Then the capacity I gave you, what capacity is that? Again, it is a nominal capacity. So then what is nominal capacity? No? No. Don't take the same thing, huh? Okay, so if somebody want to understand how to conduct an OCV test, it is like this. Okay, you can read that. It says standard charge at RT is room temperature till the SOC becomes 100%. Then rest the cell for 3 hours. Adjustment of SOC discharge by 2% with 1/3C and then rest for 3 hours. Repeat until the SOC becomes 0. Okay? I know you will not be able to follow the whole of it, but it is okay. When you go to the lab, you can study. But anyway, that is a procedure for conducting a OCV test. When you conduct an OCV test, the value at 50% SOC is called as nominal voltage. Okay? And I will take you to the next one. Right. Let's zoom this guy out. Okay? Yes. What is nominal capacity? Hey. First thing, capacity is not constant for a cell. Why? It depends upon the temperature, it depends upon the C rate, it depends upon the age of the cell. Okay? What does it mean? Take an electric bike or an electric car, try to drive that car very aggressively. Aggressively means fast, too much speed, uphill condition, it will give you very less mileage. Why? Capacity is a function of C rate. It is like this, okay? If you have a 1 liter of a water, it will be 1 liter. But the cell, it is not the same. If you draw a lot of current, then the cell will give you slightly less capacity. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, good question, but very large answer to give. I'll try to address to you personally when we finish the session, yeah? So, it's about the thermal issues of the batteries. Okay, coming back to my question, what do you see in the graph and what do you answer? What does the graph says? The graph says capacity is a function of. Okay, what is capacity first? The amount of charge the cell can hold. The next question was nominal capacity. So what is nominal capacity? The capacity that you get according to the manufacturer's data sheet. is called as nominal capacity. See, if you discharge the cell at 0.1C, 0.3C, 0.5, 1C, 2C, 3C, what capacity you get is different. Less or more, it is up to the different, but it is different. If a manufacturer is saying this water bottle is 1 liter, it is with respect to temperature. If you say any oil pack, it says 1 liter when packed, correct? Not when you measure it. The same way, the nominal capacity is a capacity if you only get it, if you charge and discharge the cell with respect to given data sheet, okay? If you discharge the battery at a slightly higher current, the capacity that you get will be different, okay? Nominal capacity is a capacity that you get only according to the data sheet, that's all. At a 0th cycle, conducting an experiment at a room temperature of 25 degrees Celsius, then the capacity will change all across. So, if you want to understand the battery, I showed you the video before, we have several of those machines. This is just one experiment, okay? Like that we have several number of experiments. With all of those experiments, we will get the data. So now I will replay that video. It makes more feasible sense, I think, yeah? 32 channel cycler, we have 30 amp 8 channel cycler, then we also have 6 amp 16 channel cycler. With the help of these equipments, we have done categorization of cells. So these machines that you see over there, those are the machines which can charge the cell, which can discharge the cell however you want it, okay? And in these laboratories, we study the behavior of the cell number of years. We've been studying a cell for last 2 years. It has gone 1000 cycles. We have about, I think, 5 GB of data of that cell. Why we are testing it? Why do you need to test a